All right, so these poll numbers here could indicate that Sony may be in big trouble by the time the PS6 comes around. I've already made several videos talking about the backlash that's going on right now, with Sony declaring that they will no longer produce physical media for their PlayStation. They're going to have to continue to print discs, I think. No, not have to. They're going to have to avoid continuous backlash the way things are going now. Could things subside? I think all things subside, but I think that people are going to say, hold the line. I think there is a limit people are not willing to go beyond. And we're seeing that with several different things in media. We're seeing this with all the propaganda and pandering. We're seeing that. Talk to Christopher Nolan. I think I'm going to do a video on his stuff getting ratioed. Like, he's not immune to the backlash. His popularity is not immune to the backlash of people getting tired of all the political pandering. So we'll talk about that in another video. But Digital Foundry did a poll. And in this poll, 86% of its viewers that voted, and it was 45,000 of them at this time that voted. As a matter of fact, do I have them pulled up right now? I do. Right now it's 51K. As a matter of fact, let me refresh the page. 53K. Now, some might say, 53K, that's a small drop in the bucket of how many gamers are out there. This poll means nothing. These numbers here for this poll are similar to political polls that they do to test the temperature of the country. So if political polls are around those numbers and less, and they can figure out how things are going to go when people eventually go to the polls, go to the ballot box, then this can also be very accurate in how fans are going to react in the next few years, especially when the PS6 comes out. I did a poll a few weeks ago. So did Comic Book Explained. I heard about his poll and what was going on. I was like, you know what? Let me do my own. Let me see what happens. Our numbers, our ratios were very similar. And guess what it was for? Supergirl. 7% of my voters, my followers that voted, which was a few thousand, said 7% said that they were going to see Supergirl on day one. 7%. Guess what? Comics Explained poll and my poll were both accurate as to how the fans behaved with Supergirl. I'm going to be doing a whole lot more polls now. And there were people that scoffed at it, like our polls didn't mean ish. I know they feel stupid now. But haters usually are stupid. They usually are, they don't think well. They're not critical thinkers. They have a hard time doing that stuff. They're usually very emotional, but they usually don't think very well. So, Supergirl is tanking. It's being destroyed. Okay. People don't like it. Men and women don't like it. And even the mythological modern audience has not showed up to go. So I'm going to continue to do polls like this. And as a matter of fact, I did do a poll. Here's the poll that I did. Let me see here. I put it up. Hey, where are you at? Sorry. Okay, so it's only had like a day, I think, to go. All right, we're at 8.7K votes here. Will you buy a PS6 if Sony stops making physical discs? 77% said no. 86% of Digital Foundry's poll urged Sony to keep making physical games. I also did another poll a few days ago. This one's at 9.4K votes. And it says, are you going to buy the PS6 if it's $1,000 when it comes out? 86% said no. See, I'm not even a full gaming channel. I game on my channel, but I'm not a gaming channel. And these questions are all in the vicinity of each other and how gamers feel about the PS6 and them going fully digital. It seems as if people don't want the price of the PS6. They will not be buying it. And it seems like that people do not want all digital games. So, could our polls be predicting the behavior of fans in the future with the PS6? Yes. Could our polls be wrong? Absolutely. However, our polls were correct for Supergirl. And, as a matter of fact, Grace Randolph did a poll for whether fans wanted Zack Snyder back. And the majority of them wanted him back. And what do you hear people screaming from the top of the mountains? They want Zack back. Especially after the DCU is doing worse than the DCEU did. Period. So it is what it is. Man of Steel sold twice the tickets that Superman 2025 did. People do not like Supergirl. But when DCEU brought out their female superhero, Wonder Woman, I think, did better than Man of Steel, right? Bring Zack back. These polls mean something. Okay. So, we didn't even get to the article. I was spouting off my thoughts. Following the news that Sony would kill physical PlayStation games from January 2028, we put out a poll on Digital Foundry YouTube channel asking viewers about their reaction to the news. Over 45,000 votes and hundreds of comments on YouTube. It's clear 86% of respondents think that the physical media is still important and Sony should reconsider their plans. Digital Foundry's John Linman contributed his immediate thoughts to the news, urging Sony to reconsider and hoping that the backlash will be strong enough hoping that the backlash would still be strong enough for them to push them in that direction. Sorry, I'm trying to get through the article fast. He points out that the news coinciding with the decision to shutter the PS Vita and PS3 store paints a worrying picture, as it's clear that you are merely renting games. Owners of closed platforms can revoke your ability to enjoy this content at any point. Given that Sony was recently in the headlines for pulling access to hundreds of purchased movies and TV shows with no refunds offered, it's clear that a digital license to a game doesn't have anywhere near the same value as a physical disc. Man, yo. This is a hailstorm, man. This is a firestorm, man. Man. Something's up. Just, and the more I watch the different videos talking about it, the more I guess you could say, I already empathized with them, but the more I empathized because the more I understood the different situations where physical gaming is needed. It's needed still. With there being like millions upon millions of Americans with no access to Wi-Fi. Like what? I heard that years ago, and now I'm hearing it still. There's all these different rural parts where the internet's just not that great. You know what I'm saying? And yes, a lot of people just don't have the money, especially in these times. And with the used game market, that helps them out in trading, just borrowing it from a friend that had the money. I did that a ton of times when I was a child. I remember that. Like, maybe with Nintendo, most of the games that I played were borrowed because I only had a few, but we would trade them. You know what I'm saying? Or just let me borrow one because my mom didn't have the money. You know what I'm saying? To get me all the games that I wanted. Even when I had a paper route and I would use all my money to buy games with my paper route, man. And even then, we were still trading games. Now, I think maybe the majority at that time were my games because everything I had, I saved it. I ain't buy nothing with that money but video games, man. I was a super gamer. I went to school. And if I was running track at the time, I ran to track practice. I came home, ate dinner, played video games. Okay, and when I wasn't playing any sports, it was video games. Came home, video games. You know what I mean? I would hang with my friends from time to time, but that's especially the winter. Oh, man, wasn't nobody coming outside. Anyway, post your comments down below. Let me know what you think about this situation. Boy, oh boy. 10 million subscribers.